Hi friends, welcome to Upskill Academy. In our previous video, we have seen the hierarchy of Azure. In this video, we will be learning creating the blob storage account, the understanding redundancy options, understanding XSTS, and creating the first container and uploading the files into that container. So let me first of all go to my Azure account first. So last time we had created the resource group in our last video. So we will first of all see how to create the storage account in our Azure cloud. To create the storage account, all you have to do, just click on this hamburger icon and search if you can find the storage account. See here there is a storage account. You can click here or else you can also search the services from here in this tab. Or else if you won't find any services, then you can simply go to the search icon and select any services which you want to install or configure. So let me search here the storage account. Storage account is basically a storage to store all your information, but on the cloud platform, whether you want to store your files, folders, images, audio, video files, anything. That is called storage. And if I want to create the storage, once you search this storage services, then you can click on create. Here there is already one storage account I have created earlier, but let me create the new storage account now. I'm clicking on the create button. All right. Now it will ask you about the lot of details like subscription, resource group name, storage account name, and we will see one by one. Let me select the subscription name as pay as you go because this is my pay as you go account. It's not my free account. All right. Now let me select the region or group. Last time we have created the resource group called as RG Upskill New. I'm selecting the same resource group. Resource group is just like a logical container where you store all your services or resources. All right. And now storage account name. You need to give a unique storage account name. And I will always giving the account name as a unique name so that it can easily identify. So let me give some unique name called. This is a name I'm giving to my storage account. Now let me select the region. So there are a lot of regions. If you see here, there are Asia region, US region, Europe region, and lot of region. All right. So region that means where the Azure is loading your data. That means they have multiple data centers across multiple region, whether it is Asia region, US region, Europe region, and all. And these are all the details about the data center where the data center is locating across all the globe, and that is called region. So let me select any region here. I'll select the East US2 region. All right. Now you need to select the preferred storage type. What kind of storage you require? You want to store your blob storage, or you want to store your files, or you want to create a tables and queues and all. So I just want a simple storage where I can upload my files, folders, any CSV file, Excel file, or any other file. So let me select this one. Now it is asking for selecting the performance. So there are two kind of performance, standard and premium. Standard, that means which is recommended for most scenarios, general purpose performance which gives. And the second one is premium, which recommended for scenario that require the low latency. That means some kind of bank, insurance company, they can select the premium account. Now coming to next, which is called redundancy. So what does mean by redundancy? Redundancy, it ensures that the data durability and availability by creating multiple copies of the same data. So there are four types of redundancy: local redundant storage, geo redundant storage, zone redundant storage, as well as geo zone redundant storage. So we'll understand one by one what does it means. All right. So the first one is local redundant storage, which used for replicating the data three times within a single data center. and it replicated where? For the single data center. And the use case of local redundant storage is it is cost effective because it is copying or replicating the data into the single data center, but it is providing the less protection. All right, and it is best used for low cost non-critical data like backups where data or hardware failure protection is enough for us. Now coming to the second one is ZRS, Zone Redundant Storage, which is synchronously copying the data across three separate availability zones in a primary region. And it replicated where? It replicate in the same region, different zones. And it is based for availability, high availability within a region and critical apps needing a protection from the data centers outages. Now coming to the third redundant, which is geo-redundant storage. Geo-redundant storage is uses LRS in a primary region and asynchronously copying the data to the secondary distant region. And geo-redundant storage is replicated to the different geographic region. Entire geographic gets changed in terms of geo-redundant storage, which is used for disaster recovery for primary region failure. And the last one is geo zone redundant storage. Geo zone redundant storage combines the ZRS in a primary region with LRS in a secondary region, asynchronously replicating to the second region, and which gets replicated where? Across zone plus region. It will cover the region as well as it will cover the zone region, and it is the best use for highest durability like banking system, insurance domain and all, which require both zone level resilience in a primary as well as disaster recovery for the entire region. So these are all the redundancy in the storage. And why it is important? Suppose you can take an example. We have one region called central India, where Mumbai region you can consider, and one copy is replicated of any bank application in Mumbai region. But suppose some disaster happen, some calamity happen, and entire data center gets collapsed, right? But if we are making the copy of data available into another region, let's say take an example of East US region or Europe region. So entire data gets copied or replicated in the Mumbai region as well as Europe region. Even though if suppose something happened to the Mumbai region, companies can easily take the backup of the data and their data gets saved into the European region so that they can easily take a backup of this data and make the data available. That is called, that is all the regions. Now let me come to my account and I'm selecting here any region. So local redundant storage I will be selecting here. All right. Now coming to the advanced tab. So in the advanced tab there are a lot of options like security, require secure transfer for REST API. If you want to connect, you can select these options. All right, minimum TLS region. You can by default select this 1.2 region, which is related to the networking part. All right. Now coming to the enable hierarchy namespace. So we will discuss about enable hierarchy namespace in our next video because this is something that the data lake storage Gen 2 account gets created. And what does mean by Gen 2 account and all, we will be discussing in the next video or upcoming videos. All right. Now coming to the access tier. So there are three types of access tier: hot access tier, cool access tier, cold access tier. So we will discuss one by one now. All right. What does mean by access tier? So in Azure, access tiers are mainly used for Azure Blob storage to optimize the cost and performance based on how often the data is getting access. An access tier determines how frequently data is accessed and how much you pay for storing and retrieving the data. Let's take a simple example about hot tier, cool tier, and archive tier. If you want a frequently access of data, you can select the hot tier. The storage cost of hot tier is obviously high because you are frequently accessing the data, and the access cost is low, and the latency is lowest in terms of comparing with the other access tier. Hot tier, let's take an example. A bank transaction log for every current month gets saved into the hot tier. And these logs are accessed daily for reporting or reconciliation. Let's take an example. If you want to print your transaction statement and you are just clicking on you go to bank app and clicking on transaction to get the transaction uh, imported. All right. So you can easily import the transaction and that kind of transaction gets saved into bank server into the hot access tier into their hot access tier. All right, now coming to the cool access tier. So rarely used but still needed data you can save into the cool access tier or infrequently accessed data. The storage cost is medium compared to hot access tier and the access cost is medium and latency is slightly higher. Let's take an example. If the bank customer account statement from 6 month ago statement, not a recent statement, that can be saved into the cool access tier. We are not accessing every day, but might be needed during the audit or request. Now coming to the last one is archive or cold access tier, which is rarely accessing data or long-term data. Let's take an example. If you open the bank account and you took a loan in between 2015 and you close this account in 2020. All right, for 5 years you use this account for loan department. All right, but you require this 5 year data now in 2026, so you can easily get this data. If you are going to the bank and asking that you require this data, that data is rarely used, but still they are storing this data, they are maintaining this data. That storage is just for compliance or legal reason, which is rarely accessed. That is called archive or cold tier. All right, let me go to my account now and let me select the hot tier. Now coming to the networking. So this is the networking part. If you want your storage to get access by public network access or not, public network access scope or not. All right. So I'll make it as it is. I'm not changing anything here. Now go to the data protection. In the data protection, how you recover your data if someone or somehow gets deleted mistakenly. If you are enabling this soft delete enable you to recover the blob that were previously marked as a deletion, even though if you delete it within a 7 days. Here we have mentioned is at a 7 days. We can also increase it for 30 days or any other days, so you can easily recover the data. Similarly, enable soft delete for container. If you created a container in the storage account and if you want a backup so that automatically, even though if it gets deleted or mistakenly it gets deleted, you can easily recover it. And soft delete for files. You can also make the protection available for file level as well. This is all about the tracking and versioning. If you are changing the version, then you can easily track it. And this is all about access control. If you want to provide access to another one, other person, that you can select it. Now coming to the encryption tab. If you want to make your data encrypted, then you can select this tag. Now this storage account belongs to which team? You can provide the tag like IT team, marketing team, HR team, and so on. And create plus review. Once you click the create plus review, it gets validation. Validation is in progress now, and it would take hardly 10-15 seconds to complete the validation. All right. And if you click on create, the storage account gets created and it will first of all show you all the important information. Let me click on create. My account is getting created now. Deployment is in progress. It would take some second or minute. It will show all the details about your account. All right. Deployment gets done. You can see the notification here. So let me go to the resources and select the account. This is the page of overview, which gives all the details about your storage account, like which kind of storage services is there, hierarchical namespace, default access tier. We have selected as a hot, anonymous access, file services, security, and lot of tabs it is showing, right? And if I want to create the container, I need to click on Blob services. All right. So first of all, we'll learn how to create the container, creating the first container. All right. So let me go to my account. I'll click on Blob services. And if you want to upload any file, folder, audio, video, images, anything, then first of all, you need to create a container in the Azure account storage. It is taking some time. Let me refresh it once. All right. And if you want to create a container, simply you need to click on Add Container. What does mean by container? Container is a fundamental organization unit like a folder that hold a set of blobs such as files, images, document, video within Azure storage account. That is called container. Let me create a container now. Give container name. So let me give a container name called new container. All right, just click on create. Now my container gets created. You can see the new container, and this is a organization unit like a folder. Every computer is having a folder, and under folder we are saving all our files, images, audio, videos, and lot more, right? So similarly, you can consider this is as a folder structure under your Azure account. So let me click on this new container first. And if I want to upload any file, all I have to do is just click on upload file. If you want to create a directory that means folder. Under container, you can create a directory that means folder, and under folder, you can create your or store your files and all. So I'm not creating any directory. I'm directly uploading a file here. Let me click on upload button. One pop-up get open and it is asking to drag and drop the files here or browse for files. So let me click on browse for files. All right. Let me go to my drive and any file I'm uploading here. So let me upload one file called emp1.csv. This is my CSV file. Let me click on open and click on upload. As soon as I upload here, you can see the file here. It will show access tier, last modified, blob type, size of the file, listed, and a lot of information. If I'm clicking on this file, all right, it will show me an overview, last modified date, created time, version ID, and a lot of information about the file. And if I want to see the data inside the file, you just have to click on edit and you can simply see all the details about the file. All right, that's it about all this video. So what we have learned here, how to create the blob storage, then understanding the redundancy, understanding the access tier, and creating the first container and uploading the file. I hope this video is informative. All right. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to my Upskill Academy channel. Thank you for watching.